seriously just got done watching it. I'm very excited. Oh, hi.
I told you, but I think you were still like...
Sorry.
It's okay. April was just telling me she just got done rewatching the episode, and I've been editing my reaction, so I have pretty much watched it about 3 times.
Yeah, the same. I think this was my 4th time watching it, so.
Yeah, it was really good. Now, kind of like similar to last week, how do you feel like this episode compared to the last 2 episodes? Did you like it about the same, a little less, a little more?
The one thing I didn't really like about it is that it was 30 minutes instead of an hour.
Yeah.
Like I was very, very angry with Marvel about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like you got to hear a little bit of like Loki's own story, like from his own mouth type of thing. And I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings about it being short. Part of me, I had to go on another live stream that night. And I was trying to get my reaction in before. So I was like, oh, okay, it's not as long. But then I was also like, oh, it's not as long because I like them long. I do,
Yes.
As a viewer, you want them to be like longer. And I don't know why they chose to not make this episode as long.
I don't know.
Especially more content.
Especially with it being like 6 episodes, why didn't you give us an hour?
All right. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim. Hey, Morgan.
About 8 minutes of an episode, he says. I agree. And then, hey, Morgan. Morgan, I was telling April backstage how this wasn't your favorite episode. So I was like, it's going to be interesting. I always love to hear your point of view. Because I love the episode, which, it's always good, though. That's what I love about doing these live streams. You get to like hear everyone's different take on it.
Yes.
So that's what's fun about these. So before I even saw the episode, because I'm like the president of jumping to conclusions, right? Like that is my go-to thing. And so I saw Lamentis and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an emotional episode. I already can feel it's going to be an emotional episode and I'm going to love it because it's emotional. So I was like, this is going to be my favorite episode before I even watched it. And I don't know if it is. I think I really enjoyed it. And I don't know. I think I like all 3 episodes about the same for different reasons. They're all kind of like about the same.
I'll agree.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that one.
Morgan says the episode confused her a little bit and she found it a little bit boring. I thought this one had like some of the more like action scenes towards the end. It did. But it was confusing.
And that's why it was probably shorter. They're trying to cut some things that some people would have found like a little bit like boring or lulling. But I would have kept it. Like I would have wanted it all. But I'm also like a huge Loki nerd. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I felt like that whole singing sequence was like very needed. I was a fan. I was a big fan of the singing sequence.
I died.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like, and Morgan said, and I'm not, Tim, we will get to that comment because we're going to talk about that comment. She said, yeah, but the downtime, it was tedious. Now this is my like point of view on it. And there were some things like they walked a lot. There was a lot of walking together in this episode, but I felt like a lot of the downtime I do think was like well used, like we had them kind of like learning, about like their parent, like how like Loki's mother, her influence, and then also like Sylvie losing her mother young, and just like different things with them. Again, the Loki singing, was it absolutely necessary? Maybe not, but to me, I think I was like, I wouldn't have changed it. It was a beautiful thing.
No, it was
he was like manipulating her in it a little bit too. Like it was kind of like a little manipulative. And like Tim says, you see the character development, and that because even like the scene that might have seemed kind of tedious, like when they saw that woman, right? Like they found the woman in the trailer and them having 2 different approaches, on how like with Sylvie just wanting to like just ram on in there. And then with Loki, like I can charm her and trick her into like,
and that's Loki.
Yeah. But to kind of go to another, we had some tedious love talk this episode, which goes to Tim's comment. First topic, is it wrong of me to ship 2 multiverse versions of Loki together? Which was the same question I was asking myself as I was watching this episode.
If anyone is going to hook up with their own variant, it would be Loki. Loki is very, very schemless.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I do. I think Loki is it just like makes sense, honestly. Cause like Loki would be the kind of person to like who would Loki fall in love with? Himself.
Yeah.
But I do think they're different. They're different characters to me, in the way that they approach things and their powers. But it is very confusing. And I found myself like asking myself in it, I'm like, I don't know why I'm like shipping this when they're technically both like, I was like very confused. I was confusing myself because it was almost like a Cersei and Jaime from Game of Thrones thing where you're like, this is not right? Like I shouldn't, which I did, to clarify, I did not ship Cersei and Jaime. It might have sounded that way because I just said it like that. I did not ship them. I'm just saying that's like the vibe I was getting. I'm like, is this like Cersei and Jaime? Is that like the equivalent? Because they're like, are they like, I don't know. April understands the multiverse a lot better than I do.
Yeah. I guess as far as I can, Tim might even know a little bit more than I do, but plus I get the Game of Thrones reference now, so that's exciting. I don't know. I'm a little thrown off. I'm sorry.
What did you feel, April? I love how someone is wanting to take a picture of me and put random names.
Oh. Wow.
Hi. It's whatever. Keep going. Okay. What did you think
let's switch topic.
April?
Say it one more time.
What did you think of Loki and Sylvie this episode?
I don't know. I just don't know what the play is, and it's very, very confusing to me, and I don't know what, like, I love them together, but I'm waiting for her to backstab him, and I don't know.
I don't know. I think we left, well, and this kind of coincidentally goes to Morgan, which is, she said, let's talk about the ending. We left the ending on a cliffhanger, really. And so that's kind of why I'm also confused too. Like, I feel like this episode was good. And, like you kept feeling like they were going to backstab each other, and they tried to backstab each other like several times. And, but they didn't at the end of the day. And now they're like stuck on this, planet that's like about to be destroyed. Or this, is it a moon or a planet? Is it a planet about to be destroyed, or a moon, or a moon about to be destroyed? I got very confused with that part.
I think the moon's crashing into the planet.
The moon's crashing into a planet. Yeah, well, it says something about the moon was destroyed. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very confused on that too. Which it kind of like reminded me of like Thanos' story where he talks about like the moon crashing into his home planet and all that stuff. But I thought the moon was crashing into the planet, but it could have been the other way around. Who knows?
It's one of the parts that was confusing.
I will say I was confused about that myself.
I knew instantly I was wrong about the title too, as we see the planet's called Lamentis. I was like, I like say in my intro, I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be an emotional episode because like Lamentis, I was thinking lamenting about. I was like, it's a planet? Okay, well,
I mean, there was some emotion in there too, especially when he's talking about his mom and stuff, and just like, And then when he's singing the song from home, I was like, it's just...
Okay. In the future, maybe I should never advertise again. Anyways, yes, April says, and now they're stuck on the planet, which I was kind of shocked about, because I'm like, okay, which the Time Variance Authority didn't come because, but you know, Mobius knows about like the whole hiding during apocalypse, essentially, or hiding. So he knows. So like, I think there is a possibility that they're going to like, it's going to be the Time Variance Authority. I think that's a possibility, that they come and save them. I think it's also a possibility that they like find a way to charge. What is that thing called again? The little
the
portal thing. Temp pad. Temp pad.
It is temp pad.
Yeah. I think it's definitely possible that the temp pad is going to get charged somehow, because that was kind of what they kept looking for. This episode was looking for way to charge the temp pad. So I think that's also a choice. So I don't know how they're going to do that. It's definitely interesting that they they just destroyed, what was it called? The Ark again. And so like they didn't have any, they don't have any way off at this point.
Yes. As far as there is like a small theory.
Okay, go ahead, April.
Out there. And that Loki actually has a time stone, because if you watch before they get to the Ark, he's this building's crashing down and he does something and like resurrects it.
Yeah.
So they're saying it might be the time stone, and if that's the case, he can like rewind time and be there before the Ark explodes, and like, or even like rewind and get the temp pad back if it's not all an illusion. I'm wondering if it's an illusion too.
Yeah. Tim says, are they stuck, or did Loki make a fake broken time hopper in order to see if Sylvie was trustworthy? I bet he still has the real one in secret, which is a good theory, really. I mean, because that's true. I mean, we've seen Loki like fake his own death before. So yes. I mean, like switching around the temp pad wouldn't be like out of his wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
Not at all. But like when he's singing to her, I wonder if like that's an illusion that he projected onto her.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
See, you know, he had like that whole speech, which I mean, this could have totally not had anything to do with this moment, but he had the whole speech about the difference between like an illusion and like a, what is it? Like talking about the differences
and enchantment and illusion.
Yeah.
You want to play pie? Okay, you go play, okay?
No.
Thank you, Louise. So okay, you go play. Anyways, she can be very distracting. So.
No, she's fine. She's fine. This is very chill. This is a very chill convo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I really like both your theory and Tim's theory. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if how far is Loki going to take this whole I don't have the temp pad thing. You know,
we have to wait until Wednesday.
I guess if there's like not a place to charge it, he might not see the need in like bringing it back out. Like, right. So, I mean, if there's not a place to charge it yet, then there wouldn't even be like, if he did have it still, there wouldn't be a need to like reveal that until he knows he can charge it. Because obviously Sylvie's going to be mad at him. So,
I mean, she's already mad at him anyways. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt like this was a strong episode for both of them, because I don't know. It's one of those things like you can tell they were both trying to manipulate each other, and they were both, well, which Loki said from the beginning, and this kind of fits in with Tim's theory. Loki said from the beginning that he like wanted to work with Sylvie. And I think that still is true. I think he's just trying to see if he can work with Sylvie. And then Sylvie's like, I don't want to work with you. So she's trying to pretty much survive. And I feel like though that's partly why he was kind of like laying it on thick this episode. In the sense of like the singing and things like that. Cause I think he was trying to kind of like maybe worm his way where she liked him a little bit. So I feel like that was kind of his plan was to like wiggle his way in and like make it where she liked him. Sorry, I was adjusting my screen. Morgan did say this before, and I'm sorry, I lost the comment. She said, "What about the bomb being dropped that all the TVA people are variants?" I didn't see this coming, and I should have seen this coming. Is what I will say.
I mean, we kind of last week I had said the thing about like possibility of Mobius being a Loki, and like I'm not necessarily saying it's like true yet. But that makes it a possibility if all variants are now a part of the or typical, you know what I'm saying. If the variants are the members of the TVA task force, there's the words.
Yeah, I think it should. Something I should have seen coming, given that like the beginning scene, which again, me being stupid, I really thought for a second that Sylvie did know this girl.
It took me a minute. Like, it really did. I was watching it, and I was watching it, and I was like, wait, that's Sylvie.
I know.
And she was like, yeah, April. And I was like, I'm sorry, it took me a minute. And then I was like, wait, what are they? So, yeah. I really liked it. Kind of showed like her abilities on how she does it and stuff like that. So I really liked that character development and showing all that too.
Yeah, which let's talk while we're talking about the beginning scene. Let's talk about that music with the intro.
Loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I was like really into the intro music. I thought that was so much fun. And I don't know, I haven't seen them do that I recall on any of these other shows. Have they done it before? That I just don't remember.
I mean, Marvel typically doesn't do much music in general.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like with Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier, we had Zemo doing like the dance. So I feel like that was almost was right up there with that.
That was dancing in front of the carousel progress.
Yes. I saw that comment today too.
Yeah.
But like the moment for me was the Loki song is like what really like I feel like that's going to be the new Zemo dancing thing is. Yeah. I feel like I need that as a ringtone, honestly.
It's on a different level for sure. It's on a different level.
It is.
But yeah, I thought I was thrown back by them like having that intro music. I was like, am I watching the right show right now? Because I'm not used to that.
Took me a minute.
Oh, hey, Christina. Christina's just popping in. Yes,
Christina.
It's a good episode. So I don't want you to be spoiled, but I do appreciate you popping in to say hi. You're so sweet. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a very good episode.
It's very good. It's very short, but
yeah,
you just got to go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tim said that he was also shell-shocked about the TVAs being variants. It's like thank you, Christina gave it a thumbs up. Thank you. I wasn't really like shocked, like I said, but I was like more of like, I should have known.
Yeah.
I should have known. Yeah. Because it makes sense, especially given the theory that, was it you or Allie? I think it was you that mentioned the older and younger Loki. Was that the theory? Yeah. So that made dude, as soon as I saw that, I thought about that and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like that, it goes.
So that's my like hope, because if that happens, I'm gonna be like, yes, I got something right for
once. Christina says, how short is it? What is it? 30?
I think it's 38 minutes.
38? Maybe? I was supposed to say like 36, 38. Yeah, right around there.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say maybe 38. But it's a little shorter, about, I think like maybe like 8 minutes shorter than like the last two were. I mean, it still is a really like pretty good episode. Like it has a good bit going on. But yeah, do we know why? No, I don't.
I think they were just trying to cut down some of the filler things, and they went with that, which, I mean, like I said before, I would have loved the fillers, especially with us only getting 6 episodes. So
yeah, I don't know. I did think it was odd when we're only getting 6 episodes, because if like with WandaVision and with Falcon and Winter Soldier, were they all kind of I felt like they were all kind of the same length. There wasn't like a,
yes,
except for like the finale. Like the finale obviously was longer.
Yes.
But I felt like episode to episode, it was pretty much the same.
I agree. Maybe a couple of minutes here and there, but not like this much of content cut off of it.
Yeah, Christina says maybe a longer finale, which that would be,
or maybe even a longer episode next week, because Tom Hiddleston has said that 3 and 4 really are what open up some portals and stuff like that. So, and I didn't see like much open up in 3, so I feel like it's alluding to 4. But they may be saying that just to throw us off too. So
Christina, get off right now. Get off. We don't want you spoiled. Okay, because we're about to talk about spoilers again. So Christina, I love you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want you spoiled. So I'll see you later. Okay, so going on to Morgan's spoilery comment. Christina, I hope you're off. She says, if all the TVA peeps are variants, then why don't they know or remember that? I don't know. And it has to be something like whatever, if there are timekeepers, it has to be theirs doing, or if, Christine, I hope you didn't see this. This is like the flash. Okay. Anyways, I try to warn you. But yeah, I think it's like, if there are really timekeepers, I think it's them or whoever's the timekeeper. Mm-hmm. I think that's who it has to be. I don't know. What do you think, April?
I don't know. I feel like they almost erase your memories, because she talks about having to really dig into that.
That girl's mind.
Yes. I don't know what to call her, honestly, but she had to dig deep into her mind to find that memory. Right? I don't think so.
I think they just call her like Agent something or something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the word agent, though. That's what I'm. But she had to dig deep into her mind to find that memory. So I almost feel like they brainwash them or something if they deem them useful when they go to court. They either kill you or they deem you useful and move along.
Yeah. Well, and
it may start off like Loki, where you think you're keeping your memories and stuff like that, and then you don't.
Yeah. Well, I still kind of hold on to that girl, the agent girl, saying last episode, it's real. And I'm like, what could she be talking about? It's real. Yeah. And so I feel like I don't know. Maybe she's thinking I don't know. Maybe she's realizing she's a variant because she's tapped into those memories. Maybe. I don't know. Because I don't know what, like, she realizes that she told Sylvie about the timekeepers and where the timekeepers are, but I don't know. I'm kind of confused about all of that. Hey, Allie, this is a good question for you. Morgan asked, if all the TVA peeps are variants, then why don't they know or remember that? So let me know in the comments, what's your theory about that? Does Emma have a theory?
Emma, what do you think about the episode?
Did she watch it?
She did. She just watched it with me. I think she watched the one before. Do you have any opinions on the Loki episode? She said she didn't really like it.
Oh, Emma. At least she's honest. We like an honest girl.
She liked the last episode better, where he released the goats, but apparently
that was probably Emma's favorite part right there.
Yes.
That was a lot of people. That was one of your favorite parts.
It was my favorite part too.
Allie was one of Allie's favorite parts. So I mean, it's not uncommon. Emma was there. Which, Tim, I'm not missing your comment. I just want to go to Morgan's real quick. She said, didn't she also say she told them where the timekeepers are, but she really didn't? I think she had to, because Sylvie knew about the elevator. Of something about the elevator. And what color? Because Sylvie was like, what color is the elevator? And she said, what did she say? Gold or something?
Gold. Yes.
And so, but she said, I told him where the timekeepers are. So I feel like what confuses me too is about the whole timekeeper situation is Mobius has never seen the timekeepers or never met them. And he's like, where are the timekeepers at? But then this agent girl apparently knows where they're at. I'm just very confused about all that. Is it because like, if it goes with your theory that Mobius is potentially a Loki variant, maybe they know that he's a Loki variant and they're like not supposed to tell him these. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I almost think that timekeepers aren't real, or at least it's not who they're supposed, like, have been said that they are. And as far as she knows, she has led Sylvie to the timekeepers, because she has probably never seen the timekeepers either. Well, she just knows to go up to the golden elevator.
I mean, if they've erased her memories, there could be like some false memories in there too, like false information. Allie said her theory is that it's not real. Remember last week I said I thought maybe the timekeepers don't really exist, which is true. So they're trying to like hide that. Tim says he thinks ironic timing here that the TVA is much like Oz. And the wizard is Kang the Conqueror, who I still don't really know who that is. I know it's from the comic books, but I need to like research this person so I kind of know what we're talking about. But I know he got mentioned last time, which I was going to mention this too. Tim had another comment I wanted to say about the episodes. He says that he thinks they had an hour, almost an hour and a half episode planned for Lamentis and chose to do 2 shorter episodes instead. You know, that would make some sense because I felt like they ended in a very odd spot.
I would agree with that, but yeah, give us a 7th episode.
That's true, because I mean,
I feel like I'm getting cut short on Loki and I'm mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's because we're already halfway. That's like the truth. We're already halfway through, which is insane to say. Because I mean, it doesn't like, it feels like it just started. I feel like I don't even know, you know, it just feels like it just started. And one person said it, and I can't remember who it was, but they were saying something about how it might have been Allie last chat. It might have said something about how like Loki seems more like light, I guess, or like more jokey than you would think he would be after he just did Avengers. Like, and I mean, I know he gets his memories, but yeah, it just, I don't know. I don't want to say, because everything Loki does in my book is good, but I like it. I like Tom Hiddleston and anything he does. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of him acting the way he's acting is like him manipulating Sylvie, though, or manipulating the situation and trying to be like overly helpful and trying to be like, oh, I'm on your side, you know?
A little bit, yes. But also, with coming out of the Avengers, there was like a fan theory that the Mind Stone was messing with Loki's brain just as much as it was everyone else's. Because when Hulk slams him, he kind of wakes up and he's like, I want that drink now, type of thing. Like, he's more jokey than he was. And I mean, like, he mocks Captain America on Endgame and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like he was a little bit jokey. Anyways, he was just being controlled by the Mind Stone, which made him like super villain there for a little bit.
Yes. We have some good comments too I want to get to, but I wanted to ask this question because I didn't think anything of it when I was watching it, but then I was reading something and it made me re-question this. So as being a Loki expert, as you are, and being in this world longer than me and my little brain just having so much to process. Okay, so the scene where Loki gets like drunk, I saw on the train, you know, we get the singing and all this stuff. Okay, do you truly, like, I guess, do you truly think he was drunk? And also, do you feel like that was in Loki's character? Because this thing I was reading said something about they felt like it was more like a Thor thing to do. And like Loki was
such a Thor thing to do.
Yeah, like, and I saw that as soon as I read that, I was like, oh yeah, it really was. And they were like saying something about like Loki's usually a little bit more like reserved than that, and like wouldn't let his, like when you get drunk, your guard's down a little bit more. So like, would that be something he would do? So what are your thoughts on that, April? Because I don't know. I read that and I was like, oh.
I honestly believe it. Like she fell asleep and he turned on an illusion. If not, he's like enchanting her, just like she was like he's figured that out because he was telling the difference in between enchantment and illusion. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of figured out and turned the tables on her. Plus, they say in Age of Ultron that it takes a lot to get an Asgardian and Steve Rogers drunk. So I feel like Loki wouldn't get drunk that easily.
Yeah.
Loki probably would do all that if he was drunk, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah. He was cracking me up. But that was something while I was thinking of it, I was like, I must ask April, because I didn't even think twice about it. I just was enjoying him singing so much. I was like, this is great. I don't even care. And then after I was like, but what's it like? That's like a strange thing, I guess, for him to do. Okay, Allie says that she loves your ears, which I agree. They are awesome sauce.
So, they're a little bit messed up, but you can't see them on camera, so I'm gonna have to like scrap these and redo them. But I'm very like excited to add horns to some Loki ears.
Now, are these gonna make it to your shop, or are these gonna be like a limited edition?
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Which I feel like most of you guys do know, but April has a shop.
Yay!
And Lou too on Etsy, and got some really great ears already available. She has some Loki ears in there.
I have the variant Loki ears.
Variant ears. So. You got some cute like WandaVision ears in there. You got some Marvel ears. So go check that out.
All over.
Hey, Katie, no worries. She said that she really liked the episode and hope we have a great time. We are having a great time. We're talking about it's always a great time when I can talk about Loki, to be honest. Morgan asked, are they only doing one season? We don't know. I
don't think we know. I mean, there's been rumors that they might do another season, but there's also rumors that they would do another WandaVision. They came out saying that they're not going to, so I don't know.
I need closure about WandaVision, but that's for another chat, okay?
Yeah.
That's for another chat. I wish WandaVision would get a season 2.
And I mean, they may just throw it out there saying that there's not going to be one and then see fans' reactions and decide to do a second one. You don't know with Marvel most of the time, so.
Tim said the bright side to Loki is that it's been hinted a second season is almost a given. So yeah, and
it has, but you just don't know.
Allie says yes, please, the second season. I know Katie is looking forward to more Loki Prime singing and Asgardian. I mean, I could just that is best. Like you. I just need when I need a Zemo loop and I need a Loki singing an Asgardian loop.
Yes.
I just need it to happen. I love you too, Morgan. I don't know what I said that made you laugh, but I'm sure it was something. Morgan says she agrees it was very out of character. I think so too. But Katie just wants more Loki singing again. I agree.
I'm so glad they put that in there, though.
I do too. I feel like after the Zemo singing, they were probably, which I feel like wasn't this was probably filmed though around the same time or before
yes.
they pushed it. So I mean, they couldn't have known our reaction to Zemo at this point.
Oh, they knew. They always know.
They knew we were going to eat it up.
But there was like a chat with like Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, and Tom Hiddleston. And like they're all talking about how they were filming on the same lot at the same time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, because Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan were mad because they had to film a major scene when Tom Hiddleston was given his expose into Loki to the developers. Yeah. And they're like, why weren't we invited, Tom? It was great. It made my night. But yeah. But so yeah, they filmed pretty much most of it like all at the same time except for reshoots, which happened a little bit after, like, late last year, I think.
I gotcha. See, this is why I have April on. Other than the fact I just love having her. She's great. I love talking to her, but she also knows like everything. And
I
my
watch
little
random stuff all the
doesn't
time.
know anything. I am very new to this universe. I'm lucky I know and can retain as much information as I have. Tim's. Oh, sorry. I had Allie's comment. I completely didn't read it. She said, I was thinking when Loki shows Sylvie the broken transponder, I thought it was an illusion. We did say that, or I think that was one of Tim's theories when we were talking about how they were going to get off Lamentis, is he didn't actually break the transponder, which would be a very Loki thing to do. So, yeah. Tim says, I'm telling you guys, Loki is playing the long game here. He's a master.
He is.
Pretending to be drunk and reckless is easy. He watched Thor do it for years.
He did. I loved the whole, like, another thing. I was like, yes. And then Steve, when we were rewatching it, he was like, did you notice that that's what Thor? I was like, yes, I did. Who do you think you're talking to?
About him, like, throwing the glass down. And they were like, that was a very Thor thing of him to do.
Yes, but the Warriors 3, one of them throw it down in Dark World. Yeah. He throws it down during the party scene, and he says another. It's just the thing that they do in Asgard. And
yeah,
I just love that he just, I was nerding out over that one.
Yes. Oh, also, I had two things I want to say, and I forgot one of them. But I was going to say, there was a part where they showed again, and I have to mention it again. There was a part where they showed him, I think it was in the very beginning when like Sylvie was manipulating the girl and like trying to figure out about the timekeepers. And on the monitors, you could see that part from last episode where Loki like looked back, like he was looking for Thor, in the storm. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, like that was... Once you see that, like, someone mentioned that, you can't unsee it again.
I know,
and it's
you can't unsee it.
It's kind of, I don't know, it's just sweet.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I said it last episode and I'll say it again. I really just want him to have a chance to like go back like we had in Avengers, where they got to like kind of go back in time. Even if he can't stay, I just would like him to have that like moment.
Where Thor talked to his, I would love that moment with Loki and Thor. I would love that. Would just make my day.
The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick before I move on to the other comments is about, I knew Loki wasn't going to die, like, in this. But let me tell you, I was kind of worried because everyone's been talking about, like, Tom Hiddleston staying for, like, the long haul of these last 3 episodes. And that part where, like, the fire comes down and it, like, engulfs the whole, like, screen and, like, Sylvie and Loki are down. And I, for a hot second, was panicking. And I'm like, oh, my God, what is going on right now? Are they doing this? What's happening? And I had a little mini freak out. I knew I shouldn't have because I'm pretty positive they're not going to do it. But like,
I don't think they are.
In a second, and I was like, "What's going on?" Like, I'm not a fan of this.
You're like everyone else when we've watched him die, and we're like, "That's it, he's gone."
I know. Well, especially after everything. I mean, Dark World and everything. Like
Thor, the first Thor.
Yeah, I mean, he's like got 9 lives. This one,
He really does.
Yes. Tim said this comment is probably going to be out of order by the time it's read, but WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were actually designed to be staging pieces for movies. Loki is designed to be an actual show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will take that.
I think too, though, I feel like it might be kind of a staging for, what is it? Doctor Strange, right?
It is setting up. They said this series is going to set up Phase 4 more than the other 2 series have. So I feel like what Tim's saying is those 2 are setting up movies, but in Phase 4, but this one is setting up Phase 4.
Right. I gotcha.
So,
yeah, that's what I think they said.
And thinking about this, maybe the Loki series will end up not having Tom Hiddleston, and that's what they mean by that. Like they'll like follow other variants of Loki in later series. I don't know.
I wouldn't hate it. Just depends on how, like, if we're getting rid of Tom Hiddleston altogether,
I'm
in the
angry.
universe. Not a fan of that. I mean, I know he can't do it forever, but like he can do it for like another few years for me. But yeah, Tim said
As long as he doesn't die and he's around,
yeah.
I'll be happy with it.
He says it makes it easier for them to pull multiple seasons together with tie-ins. Yeah. I definitely think they could go off of like even do a spinoff of the show and do a different kind of show. I don't know. They're building a very big world here. But kind of like with WandaVision, I feel like they had so much go on at the end of WandaVision that I feel like they have to do something with all that happened. So I don't know. I always get kind of, which I mean, maybe they will in a future movie, like you said, like they're, kind of building up. Morgan said, I'm so confused. I'm confused. So if Sylvie was so different than Loki, is like a complete variant, why wasn't she terminated right away as a baby? I don't know. I got confused about why she lost her family when she was real young. So I'm just confused in general about, I'm just gonna let April talk because I don't know I can't do multiverse. It doesn't sound
so. What I'm thinking is that there are multiple universes, but they all flow in like a linear line, like together. It's when something happens that it tries to break it off and create that chaos that where they intertwine. I'm thinking that's where it is. So somewhere in another universe, there's another Kaylee and April talking about Loki. We're guys or something. I don't know. But pretty much, I think that's what it is. As long as you stay in your timeline or your multiverse, you're fine. It's when you try to break off from it that the TVA interjects. And Loki in any variant would probably try to break from the timeline. So.
Yeah. She has a good point though. Like she was saying, why wasn't she terminated right away as a baby? I don't know. It seems like she talked about her mother and not remembering much about her mother because she was so young. So I don't know if she just broke off. If she broke off really, really young, I mean, she had to have been, and she said she had been kind of time hopping for a long time. So I don't know. I feel like she could have potentially, become a variant very young. And Tim said the variation didn't necessarily begin with Sylvie's birth. It could have been Odin turned left when he should have turned right, and Sylvie was born as a result. Okay. I mean, that's true. I don't know. That's a good point though, Tim. Yeah. Yeah. Sylvie seems to have been around many, many years. Many more years than Loki, she corrected. We agree on the logic, though. Sylvie only exists because someone let a variant slip through. Yeah. But apparently there's a lot of variants that are still there. And maybe she was part of TVA at one point and she
that's a possibility
because she knows that they're all variants. So she was just,
and she's been doing this. She said it's years in the making and she's trying to pretty much like explode the TVA.
Yeah. And that to me sounds like someone like she knows stuff. I mean, she doesn't know all about the timekeepers, but she knows stuff that I feel like would make her ex-TVA, And
I mean, even the TVA agents now don't know about the timekeepers. So, I mean, that still fits.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even know what a fish is. So they could, depending on where you are on the ladder, you may or may not know what a fish is. You may or may not know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morgan said, but then wouldn't they have caught her prior to her becoming what she is? When they have caught her. Well, if she was like, so if all the TV, if we're going, if in my theory, if she was like a TVA agent before, I mean, she obviously is a smart cookie, and I think she kind of knew how to she figured out how to not get captured because she was hiding in all the apocalypses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get you. The variant thing is confusing, Morgan. I just especially get confused with Loki having multiple versions of Loki, and then also shipping said multiple versions of Loki and feeling weird. So I understand. Allie said, it's a different franchise, but what you said makes me think of Jason Bourne movies. The movie with Jeremy Renner take place during the first Bourne movie, so they could do that with Loki. I don't know that I understand that because I've never seen that. Maybe with Jeremy Renner.
So there's like 4 or 5 Jason Bourne movies, and most of them have Matt Damon, and then there was one that he didn't want to do it. So they did like a prequel with Jeremy Renner as Jason Bourne.
Oh, gotcha.
That one really confuses the heck out of me too. Like, I can't keep up with the Jeremy Renner one at all.
Okay. Yeah. And Tim said April makes a good point. Just because one timeline is sacred doesn't mean that the others can't exist, as long as they exist without overriding the sacred timeline.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's a lot of Bourne appreciation. I've never seen it. I've heard of it. Tim said, I think we're missing some critical information about Sylvie's relationship. I agree. I now think that she was, I feel like that would just make so much sense. But that being said, I'm usually always wrong. So, I mean, take that with a grain. This might be the first time I'm ever correct, but it's probably not going to happen.
Let's hope that she's an agent and that Mobius is an old Loki, and then like we can both high five at the end of the
That would be great. I'd still be so confused. I need someone from Marvel to like sit down and do like one of those like they do, the backstories, the legends. They need to just sit down and explain to me how this all works in my brain. So, because I just like was stressed the entire time I was watching it about like how I'm just so confused. But
they need to have recaps at like the week after the series finale. They should totally do like a recap of this is what you did miss. You should have picked up on it.
I don't know. I did think it was a good episode. Yeah, Allie said Mobius really could be. I swear when they did that reveal about everyone at TVA is a variant, I swear that was my first thought. I was like, oh my gosh, April's theory. But I think, wait, was it? I get confused if you said it or Allie said it or y'all both said it. I don't want to like not give Allie credit if she also said it, but I don't.
She may have said it too, but Steve kind of like put it in my brain, and that's when we were like rolling with it. We were like, yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I have a lot going on in this brain, so I'm sorry. Tim says, I love Mobius in this show, but imagine going from being Tom Hiddleston to being Owen. I do like Owen Wilson in this show. It's probably my favorite Owen Wilson role that I've seen him in thus far. I'm kind of like still not sure. I don't think personally, and you can say what you think, April, but I don't think personally that Mobius is going to be bad. I'm kind of skeptical about the woman judge that he like was talking to, like his friend, but I could be blindsided by Mobius, but I don't want him to be like a baddie.
I don't think
he thinks he's a variant.
I don't think he knows he's a variant yet.
Yeah.
I think he's like has an inkling to something being off. That's why he keeps asking about the timekeepers and stuff like that. But I don't think he's going to be the bad guy.
Morgan just said a thing that she wants to share. Hang on, I'll have to send it to my computer. I will. This is kind of a neither here nor there thing, but I will share it because Morgan wants to share it. While it's coming to my computer. Oh yeah. Well, I'm about to get there. And wow. That's so funny, Tim. Looks and stuff. I mean, I swear I was like not, because last episode, honestly, I didn't even really we didn't see Sylvie much, but I didn't really like her. And I didn't like the idea of having Lady Loki. And I just didn't want there to be another Loki.
And now you want to ship them together.
And now I want to shift them. Okay, before that even happened, from like the very beginning, I was like, oh, I'm really liking this girl. And it shocked me because I wasn't expecting it. And then I found myself shipping them, and I really didn't expect that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Hang on. I'm going to get this pulled up for April.
Yay.
Oh, hang on. I'm trying to get it, if it can be full screen. Hang on. And let me get the banner off so you can properly see it in the comment. This is what April sent me to shatter my heart. Of Loki wanting to work with Wanda, but she lacks vision.
Oh.
I see now. That was the quote from.
You called Morgan April again, by the way.
From this episode. So that was a good find, Morgan. Thank you for sharing that with me.
That's wow.
Yeah, Morgan just stabbed me in the heart. It was a good find, though. I forgot that was a quote from this episode. Allie says she still doesn't like her. Why don't you like her, Allie?
So okay.
For me to like her is a lot because I don't know. Once I get a vibe of someone, a lot of times I stick with that vibe. I don't change. So for me to like go from really, really intensely not wanting to like her and not wanting her in this show to like changing my mind about 5 minutes in, I don't know. Hey, Connor. He says he's just 20 minutes into episode 1. You got to get on it. You got to get on it. So you can do our live watch with us and
yes.
If
anything, at this point,
we have something go wrong every live watch. Live watch for WandaVision reaction. Connor couldn't get it together.
I think he was on like the episode before the finale.
Well, yeah, he was, and then Jean-Claire was for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes. And then I kept hitting play accidentally too.
You would pause it and then you play it. I was like, April, let's just not touch it.
Stop.
Okay. April's Loki ears are better than Disney, which I 110% agree.
That's the point. I'm making the Disney themed ears except better because they don't look like things we don't need to talk about in front of little ears.
Oh, yeah. Morgan says, though, going back to the Sylvie thing, she says she doesn't like her, nor does she trust her. And of course, Allie said same. And then Tim says he loves her, even if she dooms the known universe. Sylvie is flawless. And then Morgan says Sylvie is sus. So I'm actually kind of shocked about how many people still don't like Sylvie. I don't know why. Because I guess I thought if me being myself and being how hard I was on her last episode switched over, I figured most people would. Because I thought I was being unreasonably hard on her last episode.
I like Sylvie. I still think Loki, 1130 is by far the superior variant, and he's going to show that. But yeah, I like Sylvie as a Loki. I've done gender bend cosplays and stuff like that, and I was Thor and my sister was Loki, and so it kind of like I've been texting her. I'm like, did you watch it yet? And she just recently dyed her hair blonde too, and I was like, Rachel, you're Loki.
Katie says, I don't trust our Loki either. Doesn't mean I don't love him. And I really agree. I don't think they trust each other, and I don't, you can never trust a Loki. I don't feel like, but I still like them both, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
There's just something about them.
Yeah. And you were saying, April, I don't disagree that our Loki is like the superior Loki. But what I really did like about this episode and what this episode brought was they both act like they are the superior Loki and that they know what they're doing and their way is the right way. But we see in several moments that like specifically, I think of like when they're getting on the train and like Loki is like taking action. He's like, we're going to do it my way. But then Sylvie sees it going south and she's like, no, I gotta step in here and like save it. And so it's almost like they're like kind of almost like a dream team together when they do work together. Mm-hmm. And think about it. Like if they work together, they're like going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome team. And I think to an extent, like I can see it going two different ways. I can see there being a point where they don't ever trust each other, but unless their back's against the wall. But I can also see them building something where they do trust each other because, you know, they kind of, they're both Loki. So Allie says, I also do not think she would be romantic interest for her Loki. Of course, Allie, we just need to put you in the MCU. We won't tell Jesse.
I'm already there. Steve knows I would leave him for.
Oh, I mean, if it was between me and Sylvie, I would volunteer as tribute here. I would go in. I have mixed feelings about it because I always am a big romance fan, but I also don't know if I necessarily want Loki to have a romantic story arc. I just found it very interesting that they brought it up. That they brought up love in general was very interesting to me. We got the whole love is a imaginary dagger scene. That was a very, very good scene.
Love is loving yourself. And if we're going to ship two Lokis together, there you go.
What I will say, I don't know if I would ever ship him with anyone else. I don't know if I could imagine someone better to ship Loki with at this point, other than Allie. But, you know, Allie, you're not in the MCU. I'm sorry. Oh. Okay. Tim asked, can we get an MCU supporting character bracket for March Madness next year? We absolutely can. It is going to happen.
That would be great.
I should do a Marvel March Madness like bracket series, which April, you're going to have to do your Marvel March Madness again this year.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a little bit. I'm going to have to do that.
You're like, oh, I started a thing.
I got to come up with new stuff again.
I know, but you did such a good job. I know, like you got some time. You got some time. Morgan says she thinks he's using her to find out what she knows and then leave her butt. I don't know. What do you think, April?
That's a possibility. I mean, anything's a possibility with Loki, though. True. That's our big thing. Anything's possible with Loki.
Expect the unexpected is what I think Loki, the motto of a Loki is. I personally don't. I think that they both don't trust each other at this point and that anything is possible. But I do think truly what he wants, I don't know about her. Now, I think she would, I don't think she's is, you know, committed or wanting to work with him, at least not right now. But I do genuinely think, because he's, again, Loki loves himself, right? And any part of himself, I feel like he wants it to work. He wants to trust her and he wants to be able to work with her. But whether or not it gets there is going to be interesting. And I don't think if it gets to a point, he would not be scared to stab her in the back.
No, not at all.
No. Tim says, Loki seems to be developing nicely, seeming genuinely shocked and worried that they were going to let these people die. Yeah, he did. He was really shocked. I remember that scene, which this was a hard episode for all that. You know, they were kind of like, they weren't letting anyone on the train. It was pretty brutal.
I also think he's coming fresh off of finding out about Ragnarok too, and how like that pretty much destroyed all his people, and he's kind of in the same situation again, and he's just like, why aren't you saving these people?
Morgan's talking some sense into us. March is 9 months away.
I mean, that is true.
She says, though, one word, Vlogmas. Are you going to do Vlogmas, April?
I'm looking at Vlogtober right now before I really think about Vlogmas. So, yeah, I'm all about some Halloween. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Allie says Sylvie doesn't need Loki. Loki needs Sylvie just for her knowledge. Well, I think what is kind of backs up the theory that we had about him still having that like pin board or whatever. What's it called? I keep forgetting the name of the little hologram.
Pin pad.
I think that one of the purposes that would make total sense for him still having that is it's like a good reason for him to still be around. But also, I mean, they're stuck on this planet. They're about to die anyways. I mean, and they were still kind of working together. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I think we'll know a lot more next episode for sure.
I don't think Sylvie needs Loki yet. Yeah. I think we're gonna find out that she's gonna end up needing him.
Yeah. Okay, April, we're going to wrap it up, but do you have anything about this episode that you wanted to mention? Or I feel like we did a pretty good job of like covering through.
I think so too.
Most of everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything. They sat awfully close on that rock. I had that in my reaction. That's all I said. They're sitting awfully close on that. Like he came and sat like right beside her.
Steve has a theory that they put this in there especially for Pride Month, but when they were talking about like how he's probably loves some princesses and what about a prince, and he said a little bit of both, and which I mean that's always been Loki, and Steve said they probably put that in especially for Pride Month, and I was like, well, I mean, if they're going to do it with anyone naturally, they got to do it with Loki. So I love that little quote too. And just how Tom Hiddleston like delivered it just so smoothly.
Yeah. Well, one last little thing I just wanted to mention that I really loved. I loved, of course, him talking about his mom. And and him showing the fireworks in his hand, which was again very cool and beautiful. And I felt like that was I could tell it almost touched Sylvie for a moment. Him talking about like that was a good moment with them. That was one of the few moments. She did. She was Allie was a little confused. She was like, "What is that? Does that mean he's gay?" I was like, "I think it means he's both." So it's fine.
When they start putting out the series, when they put out the series, they said that Loki was non-binary, and I was like, if you look at Norse god, like Norse mythology and everything, he's always been kind of like that. So it fits, and so I thought it flowed fluidly and kind of appreciated it too because it was a nod towards that Loki.
Yeah, that's what Tim said. It's been canon in the comics since 2017. They're still doing comics? I didn't know they still like actively.
Yes. A couple years ago, there was Hydra Cat. So that was the thing a couple years ago. I think most people were outraged about, but I think it ended up being I didn't read that one. I was a little angry about it.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this live, which this was so much fun. April, thank you so much for coming.
I'm so glad to be here.
Everyone in the comments for coming and giving us some thoughts. Awesome things to talk about. There were some really good questions and also some theories and commentary. So thank you guys so much. It was a lot of fun. April, what do you have coming up on your channel and on your shop and your live?
Okay, so I believe tomorrow, I got to upload it. I believe tomorrow I'm going to have another Disney Park vlog.
Oh,
we're in Hollywood Studio.
Hollywood Studios, okay.
So that's exciting. Wednesday, I skipped last Wednesday, so this Wednesday and Thursday I'm going to do Disney Parks like Redemption ears, and then on Thursday I'm going to do Loki from Avengers ears. So so 2 Loki ears this week. So very excited.
Okay, so the Disney Park Redemption ears, are those the ones you're wearing?
Yes.
Okay, I thought
because yes, they're a darker color, which they needed to be anyways, but they kind of go with the same type of flow that the Disney Parks one we're going for.
I gotcha. Well, that's exciting. I cannot wait. So 2 pairs of Loki ears this week.
Yes.
Right. So
2 different pairs.
Man, you getting some Loki content. So for me, I'm still editing and almost done editing my Loki reaction, which is going to be fun and coming out. And I'm still working on, I just got to edit some of my Shadow and Bone reactions. So I've got some fun reaction videos coming up. And also this next week, I'm going to be doing a Shadow and Bone live chat on Thursday, I believe is the date we set. And that is going to be with my cousin, who is a book Instagrammer. So that's going to be fun. And I think Christina might also be joining us. Yeah, I still have to confirm with her, but that's going to be fun. So a lot of fandom talk going on for sure.
That's fun.
But yeah, I'll be back next week, of course, with Loki. And again, thank you so much, April, for joining. And
No
again,
problem.
everyone,
Thank you for having me.
see you next week.